tell you, and you actually referenced this earlier, King of the Hill. Were you ever a fan of King of the Hill?
Yeah.
So do you remember the episode when Peggy finds herself buying books to make her a genius because she takes an online quiz that tells her that she has an IQ at a genius level?
Yeah.
So I was watching this episode, and this might be a morality check for me, but I thought, what a genius marketing idea. I could tell if you just create a quiz that
So just
creates,
make a Mensa, but
like what if I made a quiz that regardless of the results told you you need to be an entrepreneur, and then I just sell them an entrepreneur kit from zero to hero, Entrepreneur 101. I was like, I mean, they did it for geniuses, but
that
like,
makes sense.
I was like, if I take a scam and go, that's a good idea.
Have you seen like the pre-lander like bridge quiz funnels for weight loss offers that people use? It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you put in. You always need the offer.
Exactly. And then I thought, does that make me a bad person that I think that's a good idea?
It can be a good idea. You're not going to execute it on. It's just a theory craft thing, right?
Yeah. I guess I won't go out and tell people they're geniuses to sell them books, knowing that they're not geniuses because they're buying my books that are loaded with nothing that'll make them smarter. So as long as I guess the outcome, the product delivery is good, I could still use some of the front end stuff. But I told my wife, she was like, you have problems. And I was like, you're just not a marketer. You don't understand.
No,
so
it makes sense though.
Good. Thank you for not making me feel like a criminal. Now I have.
Now, if you actually execute on it, build some sort of like crazy MLM pyramid scheme, Bernie Madoff deal from it, then you're a criminal. But
luckily this is recorded. So
right now you're just a guy with an idea.
Just a guy with an idea, like the beginning of all criminal organizations. A guy with an idea and ambition.
You have two paths you can take right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's good. Welcome everybody into our conversation about King of the Hill. And if you haven't watched that episode, go watch it and choose a different path, the good path. But the idea is sound. The idea is sound for sure. And today, obviously, welcome to the Affiliated Podcast. We have Thomas, the lovely Thomas here.
That's me.
And the lesser lovely Kyle. And I'm speaking in the third person now. So today we're actually going to talk about something that I think we hear all the time, and people ask us about it, which is, so you've decided to hire an affiliate manager. What next? What do I pay them? What do I do? Is kind of just the response we often get.
Honestly, often it's me begging my clients to hire an affiliate manager.
That too.
You're doing too much.
You
can't do it all. Time to get some stuff off your plate, right?
Yeah. It's a great place to do it too. It's a great place to really maximize some revenue by putting somebody in there. So we're going to talk about that today. We really want to go and cover, and honestly, we're going to talk about what types of affiliate manager you could hire, because I think that's a big one that people don't think about or talk about. And we're also going to talk about what you need to pay them, what kind of metrics and things you should evaluate them on, and also like what the personality type should be for whatever that affiliate manager selection is that you make, and just all those things, all the things. Affiliate
managers and more.
So getting it started, I think one of the big questions that the people might be asking internally, because we ask all our questions internally first, hopefully, is, am I ready? Am I ready yet for an affiliate manager? Which oftentimes, like you said, it's you yelling them, telling them, yes, you're ready. You're ready months ago. Do
you find that people are more hesitant to hire affiliate managers in other positions in our industry?
I think it depends on where their strength is prior to, entering into affiliate marketing. So some people hate affiliate like going out and recruiting affiliates. They hate affiliate management.
True.
So they probably want to get somebody in there before they need to, or they should, because they just don't like that process. So I think it really depends on where you lie with that and what you've already done, because it comes down to relationships, and you might have some really strong relationships, and it's like handing over. Yeah,
you don't want to hand it off to someone you don't really know and trust yet, right?
Yeah. It's like giving away your daughter, for two fathers to daughter chairs. Giving away your daughter in a wedding, like, I'm extending out all this bring this other weirdo in, like, what's going to happen? You kind of feel very protective of those relationships, and the process you do
I'm
well.
kind of the same way, trying to, like, when I've got a client who's hit platinum, to hand them over to an account manager here at ClickBank, I'm kind of like, I don't want to. Let's help them get to this point. Right. It's in everyone's best interest for me to do that.
Yeah. And which does come to, like, we'll get there in a second, but it comes to, like, how do I select the right person? Even if you hate it or if you love it, that right person's still going to be huge. But let's kind of talk a little about when is the right time to hire an affiliate manager. So for you, if you were asking that question, you're looking at a company, what are the keys or flags or signals that tell you the time is now?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's easier to recognize that the time was now 2 months ago, right? But usually that's when you're like just scrambling to get affiliates assets, right? And it's like you don't have any time for actually actively recruiting new affiliates. And your pipeline is just filled up with like, I need to get this guy, this swipe file, I need to get a new link here, I need to do all this admin work, right? And you're not able to actually onboard anyone new or build deeper relationships with your existing affiliates because you're just trying to maintain. Right. That's probably a little too far past the time to hire, right? You should have hired before that so you don't get to that point.
Yeah.
But, that's when people really go like, like, help me.
Yeah. I think that's the time they reach out. But I think we had to dial it back and think about how do you not get in the situation that you're just like, freaking out because you have too much and you're probably going to see some contraction in your affiliate revenue because you're overworked and you're spread too thin. I think one of the big things is, it should be a time that and this goes for any position, but you understand what it takes, what success looks like in the position. You have some sort of process in place already, and you have an offer that is attractive affiliates. So you have some level of affiliates already that are being successful. And that could be, honestly, it could be like 10, it could be 100, depending on what your capacity is and what you can manage. But if you have those things in place, I think it's a really good time to start looking for an affiliate manager and understanding that, just making sure you have those functions in place. The rest of it depends on, I think, your comfort level. If you hate affiliate management,
probably earlier than
once you know that you're like, okay,
the offer's proven,
I have 5 affiliates, I have affiliate manager, like, all right, good, let's get out of here. But you might wait longer if it's something you enjoy doing. You're good and successful at it as well, because then you're just gonna have more established a more established idea of who you need in your role. But to me, that's what I think. As long as you know that you have an offer that can scale with affiliates, that's a perfect time to say, let's get an affiliate manager in before we start trying to scale.
The out phase happens, right?
Yeah. It's like, you want to try and put a roof on your convertible while it's driving down the highway. That's kind of challenging, maybe not advisable. So let's maybe do it a little bit before things get too crazy.
I like what you said too about building some processes in while you're the one doing it or while your team's the one doing it, right? Before you provide in that dedicated role. I think that's where a lot of people don't do that with any role, right? But just building the processes of what you're doing in the moment, which can always be refined and improved down the road. But that way, whoever's coming in actually knows that there's a system process in place to follow, and they're just not the one building it.
Yeah, well, I think 2 things to that. One, you're right that it makes it a lot easier for who you're going to hire, that they have a baseline, that you're doing something. But the other thing that's really important is if you have a process, if it's working or not working when you hire that affiliate manager. Far too often when I see these situations go poorly, someone doesn't know anything about affiliate marketing. They don't know anything about their affiliate management program. They hire somebody in there and they're not the right fit, or they don't even know that they're not the right fit until it's too late. And so this is just general knowledge for any business owner and entrepreneur. If you're going to hire a position, you need to have good enough working knowledge of the position you're hiring to know if they're doing a good or bad job.
Yeah. Which I think is, that sounds like a good segue into like what type of affiliate manager to hire, right? Because that's, if you kind of know what the role is, right, you kind of know what to look for. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Like it seems like mishires happen a lot in affiliate managers, right? There's a lot of like frustrated affiliate managers because they get put into the wrong position, and a lot of frustrated offer owners and businesses because they hire the wrong person for that role. Right? Yeah. So like in your mind, like what are the different types of affiliate managers out there? And maybe we can talk about a bit like where they're best suited.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I put it down to like 3 categories is what I tend to think about for affiliate managers. One is just, if you love the relationship building, you never want to lose that piece. You're going to get more of kind of an account manager, affiliate manager. So someone that they're probably not going to be as focused on getting new affiliates or going out and kind of doing a biz dev role, but what they're really going to do well is make sure all the relationships you're fostering, bringing in, that they continue to be happy, they continue to be serviced, they continue to be given all the creative assets that they need, their payouts are happening all on time. All that stuff and the reporting and the contracts is being managed by somebody that's a little bit more of like a project manager, account manager role, which then could allow them to do other tasks too. Like, so if you need to kind of adopt them a little bit for other parts of your business, that person's probably someone that's really good at managing certain tasks, right? And then I think there's the real hunter salesperson. They're going to go out and be that arm that goes and recruits, brings in new affiliates, creative, solutions, blah, 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 blah. But then much more of a biz dev salesperson affiliate. And the last I would say is more of like the PR agency route. So you're hiring some big agency, some big something that's going to go out and, just make kind of short-term introductions for you. So I don't know how much you've experienced the PR agency world, but you're basically paying exorbitant fees just to say hi to somebody. Right. So, that is still an affiliate manager. They're managing affiliates, but they're giving you to up-level into maybe stratas you otherwise wouldn't have access to, and is more something you'd look in a short term.
Would you lump what about JV brokers, like kind of the freelance affiliate manager, JV broker, hunter? Is that?
Yeah, that's where I put kind of in that agency model. So I know the PR is on the high end, but the broker freelancer, that's a short-term solution to normally bridge a gap to some period. And I would tell you, if you don't have one of the other
some fuel
two,
to the fire, maybe if you got something going,
yeah. So that's like steroids to an affiliate program.
No, I'd agree. I think that kind of covers the main ones I'd be thinking of too. Because you kind of have the hunter versus farmer, right, perspective on it. And I think some of that discontent we mentioned earlier stems from mismatching, right? You hire for what you think is a hunter role, but you filled someone with who's more of an admin, right? Or what you're hiring for, you build the offer around I need someone to do all these things. It's all admin work, right? It's get someone swipe files. It's like all the maintenance work, right? And then you're frustrated they're not growing revenue from new affiliates, because that's what drives more business.
Yeah, they're just talking on the phone all day with the affiliates they have, getting to know them, and you're like, why? What are you doing? So you just hired a friend, not really a biz dev salesperson.
Closer, right?
Yeah,
hardcore closer.
yeah. Someone that wants to earn that coffee.
Yeah, I largely agree. It seems like too the pay structures change quite a bit, right, as you go through those different types.
Yeah, and that's it's very true, right? You're gonna the incentive structure, the pay structure, the pay range, all those things are gonna fluctuate based on what type of affiliate manager that you have. So I think before we get into that though, because I'd definitely love to talk about the pay structure, let's break down and go a little more in depth with each type. So I think the one that I would say most people inappropriately create and then hire incorrectly for is what we'll call the account manager style of affiliate.
Sure, yeah.
And oftentimes it's either you're looking for the biz dev and you hire an account manager, or you're looking for a hunter and you put them in an account manager role.
I think part of the issue there is that job title, affiliate manager, right? The manager name doesn't really lend itself to a salesperson.
Yeah.
Right? It's more okay, we're going to come in and make sure this is going smoothly and things are working okay. It's not you're going to go close deals and make new business happen. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that almost inherently makes a bad fit if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think if you look at it I always think let's look at the corporate world. If you look at relationship managers and people that are going to be account managers, that's definitely a much more passive role. I'm not saying these people aren't skilled and good at what they do, but it's not a hunter-seeker mentality. They have a completely different skill set and a completely different mindset. And you're right, that name, affiliate manager, is much more synonymous with, I think, that type of position.
Right?
Yeah. But the role, depending on what you want from it, could be vastly different than a standard account manager. So let's talk about the account manager role and what we think really where that best fits. So we kind of highlighted this, but I think oftentimes this is where if you already have an established affiliate program, or you love doing the seeking part, you want to go to all the events, you want to go to all the masterminds, you want to meet and talk and close deals with people, if that's the where you love and you just need somebody to manage it in the back end because your star's out there burning too bright, you need somebody to pick up all the mess. This is really where this role comes in. The people that could master those spreadsheets, keep on top of the reporting, making sure that the contracts have, as you set them up and you broker these deals, that the details are being met, the follow-ups being met, the clicks they agreed to are actually happening, and then on top of that, keeping engaged with the people that you have, keeping them happy, making sure they have a point of contact that's responsive, getting them updated creatives, just doing all the little nitty gritty things to keep your affiliate program running and your affiliates happy. If you recruit and, things are great on the front end, but as soon as they get in, it all falls out in the back end because no one's talking to them, no one's getting them any resources or assets they need. you're going to lose affiliates fast.
Right, because it's the flip side of that. If you just have that shining star hunter person, right, that's out there who's not following up and doing all that, you have the other side of the coin. You might get some initial traction in sales, but you're probably not going to go too deep with any of those affiliates, right? They're going to, that's backing out okay, but this person's not really going to be too focused on maintaining that.
Yeah, so you won't know what's good or bad. So it's definitely somebody, I think of it in the back end, they're really focused on that back end post experience for the account manager. Anything to add in terms of, the type of work or the type of affiliate manager you'd have there?
No, I think too, like this can be depending on your business size, this could be like a virtual assistant, right? That kind of role. Like, hey, I've got this across the finish line. This is going. Hey, loop them in. Can you get them all their assets, right? Zoom. Like they have all the processes to follow. They know what they need to do. They're kind of a structured work process that they can just operate within. It may not even have to be a full hire, right? It could be an outsourced VA in the Philippines or something that's kind of helping you manage this, or an agency that's kind of helping you do that kind of thing. So, because it is, right? It's the maintenance period you need. So, yeah.
Well, I'd say not even just the maintenance period too. Like that's a big piece, and you're right. You could totally either have it be a part-time position for somebody else on your team actively that exists right now, or I'd say even on if you're looking for you already have a really large affiliate base, you want to hire someone. This could be like a junior affiliate manager or someone that's really process oriented.
Yes.
So if you're like, man, I need someone that just knows process, is going to keep things running efficiently and making sure we don't have things falling through the cracks. I will tell you, the skill set for a hunter is not always that person, but if you have somebody supporting them or supporting, whether that could be you, that's really what you want from that role. So like you said, process-oriented executor, they're going to look to improve and create more efficiencies. And then on the pay scale, you probably don't want to make their salary super commission-oriented.
If at all.
Yeah, if at all. I don't know if I would, outside like maybe a company bonus if you're doing like revenue sharing. But this should be probably a salaried employee. And I know, so we're going to pull some things. I'm just going to name drop right now. Amber Spears did a great presentation at Copy Accelerator that goes into some of the pay ranges she thinks for certain types of affiliate managers. She kind of says, $50 to $100 an hour or a retainer of $1,000 to $3,000, really low to no commissions. I think that could even be lower depending on where you're paying from. But notice if you're doing $50 to $100 an hour, it's probably because they're not getting a full
workload.
Set. They probably have multiple clients doing that, so it's not a full-time employee. Really, I would think from a base level, you're probably somewhere within the 30 to 50 range for that kind of position if you had them full-time.
That backs out to what I'd expect, right, for that kind of role.
Yeah. So anything else to add about the account manager role? I know it's like the least sexy of affiliate manager types, but super critical. I don't want to bash anyone that is that person. We love you. You keep it all together.
I think there's a attitude in the industry where people don't want to work with affiliate managers, right? Like, no, I want to talk with the owner, right? The CEO, the offer creator, right? I think that's largely because they are used to chatting with people who don't have legs to cut teeth, right? Or they don't have like the leash to actually, wow, what did I just say? Legs to cut teeth?
I was going to ask you as soon as you're done. I was like, I've never heard that. Is it a weird Northern Idaho thing?
Yeah, you're I don't know. Okay. They don't have the leash to actually cut deals, right? Because they're just this type of role, right? They're an admin that can get creatives. People are like, oh, I need more commission. They're like, right, let me go. So you need something to have that process aligned with. So you can actually hand someone over to an account manager and actually know what they're getting, right? And actually get all the assets they need. Or you have the internal processes where that can happen pretty seamlessly if those requests come through. The deal-making part can come through.
Yeah, totally. I think that's where, if you're structuring it this way, you still have that hunter-seeker, but it's the offer owner.
Yeah.
So going to the flip side, if you want you think that there's an opportunity where you're okay at this, but you want to go somewhere else, I would say the next one is that kind of the hunter, right? Yeah. I labeled him the contract killer. So this is your mercenary that's going to go out and their whole job, it's a biz dev role, right? Their whole job is to find you new business, new contracts, new people, bringing them in to generate new revenue. And I will tell you, with this role, if you are not playing this role, hiring that person, they should be scaling your business drastically if they're doing their job right.
Yeah, and you have the offers that can actually scale.
That too, right. Yes. So, but we already said that's before you even get to this point. Yes, do not hire an affiliate manager like, all right, I'm almost created the offer. I don't even know if it works yet.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of broken hearts on both sides happen that way, right? Like, oh, this affiliate manager didn't do anything, right? It's like, oh gosh, you had a terrible offer. Like, no offense, but
yeah. I'm like, well, I couldn't get it to do anything because it didn't convert. So
we're only paying 10% commission. So.
Yeah, so that's where before I said, if you don't have a proven offer, you don't really want to enter into the affiliate manager world, or else unless you just want, like I said, hard feelings to be felt.
Yeah.
So
we're ready for that scale. Yeah, this person.
So talking about this person from a sales perspective, I think this is where a lot of people get it wrong. You want somebody where they need to be there's obviously a lot of relationships here, and we'll talk more in depth about this, but they have to be a cold-blooded closer. Their job is to generate revenue for your business. Now, I won't say at all costs, but they need to have a mentality that they want to push it to what they're allowed to go. Like they're hungry and aggressive, and that's where it doesn't mean you have to be an a-hole, but that's the mindset you need to be in.
Well, we're both essentially in that role, right, for ClickBank, and I wouldn't say we're a-holes, I hope. Are we?
It depends on who you ask. You're talking about, but it's not in terms of business. That's all other things. Talk to me about my opinion of pickles.
Their focus is on
movies.
Growing new business coming into the platform. Talking like it's my job, right? But into your company.
Yeah. And so that's where when you're finding these people and you're talking to these people, like they are the individuals that want commission. They don't want a big base pay, depending on where you're at, right? They still have to pay their mortgage and so on and so forth. But there's people that want rev share, they want a percentage, they want commission targets, they want something that's uncapped. They want to go out and seek and find, and putting them in that role is key, and making sure you place the right person in there and search for that right person. Actually, this just popped in my head, so sorry, this is discombobulated, but I remember talking with David Gonzalez about this, and he said when he hires affiliate managers, he oftentimes likes to hire people that aren't actually affiliate managers, but he goes and looks at event planners, because they're people that know how to interact with a lot of people. I would argue that's probably someone that's more in the account manager style affiliate manager. You're maintaining a lot of relationships, you're managing a lot of products, a lot of numbers. You have to really keep on top of people and on top of things. Most event planners aren't necessarily salespeople, but they're amazing project managers.
Yeah, that's true.
Which could be a huge piece. But think about David,
he's the closer, right?
He's the closer. So
he needs someone to back him up.
Yeah. So when you're looking at closers, what's kind of the personality, the thing that you would advise somebody if this was the type of affiliate manager that they wanted to go out and seek and find one?
Yeah, I think they need to be competitive, right, and hungry, right? It's like you said, they need to have that ability to earn a big paycheck, and money has to motivate them to a degree, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm comfortable, right? So you need KPIs in place and kind of quotas in place for them to hit and also exceed. I think that's where people screw up. It's like, oh yeah, here's your minimum quota to hit. There's no incentive to blow it out of the water, right? So it's like, oh cool, I hit my minimum. That just is the max I can make now, so I'll just wait and sandbag till next month and then go again, right? So you kind of need to build in some multiplier aspects to that to keep them motivated and hungry. And honestly, it needs to be someone, in my opinion, that you want to be able to put on the road when that's available to us, right? We're recording through COVID season right now, but because this needs to be someone that can be the face, quote unquote, of your brand, someone you're comfortable putting out there on the road to represent you and the offer and the company, who can, shake hands, kiss babies, be that kind of like, it doesn't have to be extrovert. I think there's plenty of introverted people in this role too, but they can put it on, actually network in a live environment, and really just relationship build and build rapport in a natural way.
Yeah, and I think it was important to strategically network. So you will find a lot of people that fit in that account manager space that love to party and hang out and make friends and build relationships. But you need that hunger and that focus, or else you're going to get a lot of expenses around the bar and drinks and meals, but not necessarily a lot of contracts, and that's where frustration starts to go. So when you say on the road, it needs to be someone that can be dynamic and charismatic and close deals, but they have that monetization focus. I don't know why this is a point. It's probably because I'm just like way late to the game and watching Wolf of Wall Street. But the scene when he says I'm not going anywhere, and he talks about the lady down on her luck that he found and gave a chance to scam a bunch of rich people. But talking, there's a level of desperation. Or he picked people they were desperate to go out and make money and be hungry. And you really do want that general attitude and that focus, someone that's just really, really motivated, and you'll see it return big in your results. Now, one thing we haven't said is they don't have to have experience in affiliate management to be successful, do they?
No, it's a sales role, right? Yeah. I think the best people we've seen in this space to do this, right, have sales backgrounds, and it's for good reason, Even a lot of the best direct response copywriters might have door-to-door sales backgrounds, right? So it's, but no, it definitely does have to be an affiliate manager that's come up through the ranks kind of thing. You can't bring someone in cold to it and give them the leash.
Yeah, and I think it's just it's important to know that it doesn't always have to be someone with past experience, especially understanding what their experience might be. You might be hiring someone to be, this is an experienced affiliate manager. Maybe they've just been like more in that account manager role. So you really have to understand the nature of that experienced affiliate manager and what they're really doing for you. But yeah, go out and find someone that just seems like a hungry salesperson. There's some amazing resources to train them. If you already know how, obviously you could train them yourself if you have an established process, but I think East Fifth Avenue and now Traffic Tribe and Amber's program has been fantastic for years in training and developing great affiliate managers. Are there other ones out there? I've just gotten so focused on just that.
I'm sure. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's good enough, and that sounds bad. It's literally, I say it raises the bar in our industry for affiliate managers. I think we've seen that in like the direct response marketing group, right? You kind of know who's come across the East Fifth Avenue program because it's like they operate a certain way that typically someone who's just kind of self-trained affiliate manager doesn't.
There's a level of professionalism to that role when they've gone through that training. Yeah. So I think that's definitely a key part. If you're going to hire somebody that has no experience, give them the tools and resources so they could, take that hunger and feed off of it into the right sources. Yeah. So that's a big one. We're giving Amber tons of plugs on this.
I know. Is she sponsoring this?
We'll definitely
have sponsors?
No. Yeah. We do now, just unpaid ones. Yeah. So now that we've talked about that we want someone that's going to be really focused on sales, we need a commission incentive. I think the next big question is what should be that pay range? Yeah. So we know we're a little bit on the lower spectrum for the account manager, but when we go with kind of the contract killer, that's going to change. The good news though is from a base perspective, and kind of Amber puts this in here, you're really looking, you could probably keep those same retainers, maybe a little bit lower. So if someone's making 30 to 50 a year, that's fine. Just give them a really large commission opportunity. And I'd tell you the best affiliate managers are in the six figures in this industry. Yeah. And that's a commission laden, level they're getting there. They're not getting paid salaries, whether it's...
Well, I don't know. I think
some are. Yeah. I guess. Well, we'll get that more. And I think the freelance, if I was structuring it personally, I would always keep a lower base.
It's on the higher end, but I do know some of the more established brands in our space have some healthy salary packages with bonus commission on top of that.
Gotcha.
But these are like, there's not a lot of these roles out there. There's like, I can think of 3 companies maybe doing that, right?
Gotcha. Well, and so, but I would say for most people, just make it, you could do like a 50 to 40 base, depending on where their experience level is. And you might need to kind of create some polls while they're training if they're brand new, but making it really commission laden to where if they're going to be successful, 6 figures and beyond should be very attainable for them. You need to make sure you have
like that. Like I said, like uncapped is the sexy term in this space for that role for a good reason, right? You want to reward good work and good results at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, especially with this type of role, because what's going to happen every single event that they go to? They're networking with people. Yeah, right. Yeah, whenever they happen again. They're effectively interviewing with every other person that might want to hire them.
Yeah, you see a lot of affiliate managers move roles that are good, right? They kind of not jump ship, they get poached essentially, right?
Yeah, I think TNC, when it's not virtual, is normally the breeding grounds for a lot of affiliate changes. It seems like that tends to happen. All of a sudden, like March and February, you're like, oh, you haven't, or I guess, more April and May, there's a big shift in that stuff.
So, I mean, my argument there might be higher bases might not be a bad thing in that situation, right? If you really want to keep someone happy, make them a comfortable base with earning potential on top. That's for a different, more established brand potentially. But
well, and it's something to remember if you hire someone new, they're crushing it. Like continually be meeting, especially with kind of the contract killer kind of person, because they're out there, people are recognizing they're doing a really good job. you need to kind of continually be reevaluating that salary, making sure they're happy, they're motivated. Listen when they say, hey, I need this, I need that, I need new offers, I need new creatives. They're going out and making those deals happen. And they could generate tons and tons of revenue for your business. So making sure they're happy is really, really key. So yeah, thanks for here I am being like no, low base, all commission. I don't
want to work for you.
So the next thing we kind of have in there was the more the agency route. So this is freelancers. These are people that it's built to be more short term. I guess you could. I feel like in most cases, like your short term will obviously change based on need, but a lot of freelancers, like contractors, should come in and either accelerate.
Yeah. Do you kind of look at it as like you're going to hire an agency or JV broker, or freelancer, whatever you're calling it, right? Do you look at that as more of I want access to your Rolodex?
I look at it for two things. Either one, I think it's underperforming and I don't know how to fix it, so I'm going to bring somebody in to fix it and then let me get the long-term solution in, kind of a thing. So hey, let me bring in some freelance agency or affiliate manager, basically fix my program, get it scaling, and then let's work to transition you out, kind of a thing. Yeah. Or it is just that it's, hey, I know you have this big Rolodex I can't seem to get to. I'd like to hire you to just take that. Like, let's just accelerate things up. I'm kind of like we do with any consultant, right? Instead of me figuring it out, I'll just buy your information. Right. I'll buy your contacts. That's the way I look at it. So it sounds like you might have some differences or different thoughts on it.
No, it's just like I have seen longer term deals work, right? It just seems like, right, what you're getting with an agency or a freelancer or a JV broker is obviously you're not going to be their only client, right? They don't usually do exclusivity deals unless you're basically going to pay them what a full-time employee would be. So you're usually not top of mind unless, they're kind of underperforming for you that month, and then they'll come in at the end of the month and bring some deals in or something, right? So you kind of have that churn aspect of it where you might be paying them a retainer plus commission, and you're kind of just hoping you make break even on the retainer you're paying them. And if you're not, then it's like, okay, well, probably cut the contract and move on to someone else and bring in someone else. But I think it's a great tool to leverage when you have a working system. And like you said, you're just looking for either you want to just fuel on the fire and like, hey, this is working great. Processes are working. We've got our affiliate managers working well. What's just more we can do, right? It's a kind of like a low hanging fruit to work with some JV brokers or agencies to see what else they can open it up to. I don't know. So have you worked with brands that have done that where it's like come in and almost consult, it sounds like, to like kind of do like figure out what's working, what's not?
Yeah. I mean, we, actually, when we were structuring our affiliate program, we used and reached out to East Fifth Avenue for exactly that. Hey, what are the things that are going to help us get to where we need to go? Like, what do our structures look like? Like, we want some help with that.
So is that almost more of a consulting package you're getting at that point than like an affiliate management deal cutting?
Yeah, well, level? I mean, we initially wanted them to be the affiliate managers. Like, that's what we go through. It's like but the structure was, we're pretty familiar with the agency model was, let's bring somebody in, let's pay them to get it going and run it and prove that it works.
Interesting. Okay.
And then from there, it's like, now I know what success looks like. Let's now replicate internally. So that's that was kind of the mindset that we had, and we looked for other smaller people to do kind of the same thing from a freelance perspective. But we knew at that time we had a proven offer. We knew we had some affiliates. We knew we had this asset that was underdeveloped. So it was like maybe we could get faster returns instead of training somebody if we just get somebody that's there right now.
Yep, that makes total sense. Okay.
So, which is funny because it didn't work out that way, but that was the intent and the plan when we started. It worked out very differently. We still ended up hiring somebody that was outside, brought them in, and now they're like a total rock star. Yeah. So, it could really work out. But that's one thing. I actually think a lot about, it's similar, like my ideal media buying structure is you have an internal program. So I'm going to step back out of the industry. Let me try anybody that knows, like large Fortune 500 companies all have internal asset managers that do all their investing for them. What they also do is they bring out outside agencies to compete and basically push and raise the bar.
Yeah, you raise the floor, right?
Yeah. Because we know all this stuff, internal stuff, but some outside agencies are going to know something we don't know at all. So that's another route you could think with the freelance affiliate manager. I have somebody, I already have them. They have plenty of work. instead of hiring another affiliate manager, let's freelance and let's see if we learn something new. If they start outperforming my affiliate manager, boy, that's going to really raise a lot of questions, right? You're going to be curious and you'll learn and improve.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing necessarily, right?
No, not at all. Yeah. Especially if you thought they were doing well beforehand. Now, they were not doing well, and that might be a bad situation. But yeah, that's where you could elevate them up, and that could be a really helpful tool. But that's what I mean. Like, I think about freelance and agencies is some sort of, it ideally should be some sort of short-term solution. I kind of struggle to fathom why you'd want a long-term agency model unless you just were willing, you just didn't want to deal with it. And it was so passive for you, just didn't care. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which I hope is not you. If you're that business owner, please don't be that business owner, because you're just leaving so much on the table potentially. Unless there's just an agency out there that's so amazing, they'll run it all for you perfectly forever at a place that you can't replicate in-house.
Right. I think the biggest advantage, like we talked about, is getting more exposure to a wider network, right? And kind of like that breakthrough, because you can send your hunter out there all the time, but they can't be everywhere at once. So you bring in other people that have a different exposure to different markets. You can widen that. Yeah.
I think it's really helpful when you're talking, you want to go into a new market. Yeah. So if you've been selling supplements and now you want to sell a BizOp product or an IM product, you're teaching everybody about how great you are at marketing. It's such a polar difference. So that's bringing a freelancer, say, hey, let's sparklight this.
Yeah, I would say just to make sure that deal terms and retainer terms and all that are super crystal clear and expectations are clear. That's where I've just seen things go south, right? Where it's like you bring in a freelancer or JV broker, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna get all these things in, and it's not really clear cut, and it usually ends in disappointment of like, oh, they didn't perform like they said they would, or whatever it might be. It's no knock against the JV brokers. They might have just structured a deal that wasn't as sexy as they thought it was, and they've got better offers on the table with different clients. So it's like really understanding what those terms are before you ink a deal.
Can you expand on that a little bit and share some of maybe some terms things you'd want to watch out for when you're structuring these contracts?
Yeah. So I won't name any names or anything, but it's like working with, let's say in the BizOps space, where I was working with a client, he had a new offer he's coming to launch with, there's a few things wrong with this. And the get-goes, new offer, unproven, brings in a proven JV broker to help him pen these deals for traffic to come in and actually do this launch. It was a closed, offer launch with, I think it was a 10-day window to promote through, and that whole kind of high-ticket BizOps space. And it just flopped hard, not just from a conversion perspective, but just from a traffic perspective. Like hardly any deals were inked. Nothing was really set in stone. And it was like, I think the JV broker was on I think it was a $2,000 monthly retainer. They were on for a few months before to kind of drum up the business. And then they were going to get a percentage of commission. I think it was like 10% for every sale that came through, which was everything because they were doing all the lifting there. So it could have been a lucrative deal for them. At the end of the day, I think they made their $6K from the retainer and went from there because nothing really happened. And now one reason why it probably didn't happen is that they likely knew it was a brand new offer. It was against the timeline gun, right? There wasn't really enough roadmap to get onboarded, to get people all excited for it, because you kind of need like 6+ months for these high-ticket BizOp launches now. And so it's like they did the work, quote unquote, they just didn't get the results of actually getting traffic in. And the dude was, super frustrated, blamed the JV broker for the whole launch failing. That's not really the whole story, but that's what he's probably telling people now. And the JV broker's credit, right? Probably better expectations could have been set on that front too of, kind of things we've already highlighted.
Yeah, well, I think you bring a big thing oftentimes with these deals, just because, hopefully that it's a good contractor or a good freelancer if they tell you no when you're not ready, right? Yeah, I think that is a mark of anytime someone's giving you pushback and I'm not sure we should structure it that way because they don't want to be in that situation. That's good advice for anyone listening that is a freelancer, or if you're hiring somebody, if they give you that kind of feedback, like just take it and listen to it. But the other side is understanding when you're ready, right? That's the whole point, because you're totally right. One of the worst and most frustrating things is when you spend a ton of money on an agency or some freelancer, and you weren't ready for them to succeed, and now you're stuck in this really awkward spot. So it sounds like what I'm hearing from you is a lot of this is before you go down this route, really understand that you're ready. Listen to this podcast so we can tell you if you're ready or not.
We're talking that towards the end. Listen to this one.
Yeah, you're right. Well, this is continue to listen. We'll continue to tell you more things that you need to know. But that's a big piece. It's just making sure you're primed and ready for everyone's success. So to kind of seal things off here, I think one thing I just want to kind of say is affiliate managers, again, when you get it working and you have something that could go out and fit what your business needs, that's the important thing. It's the right fit with the right person. I don't see why 7-8 figures expectations from your affiliate program is unreasonable by any means. That should be an expectation every single year.
That's it too. When you're at that level, I expect most companies to have all these roles filled, right? You're going to have the account manager, affiliate manager. You're going to have the headhunter. You might even have teams, right? And then you'll be entertaining agencies and freelancers to supplement, like we said. So like really you're going to be operating with all of these, and they're going to be working as a team to close these deals and kind of keep scaling. Definitely. So, well, perfect. Well, thank you, Thomas. I'm glad we were able to cover what to do. And now no one will have to ask us anymore. We'll just refer them to this podcast. Listen to us talk about it. But thank you for listening, everybody. As usual, make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and continue to listen to Affiliated. And have a great week, month, whatever time we're releasing this. Yeah, cheers. Happy scaling, guys.